Start recording. Okay, so everybody, welcome to Series 1 at TBSU. All right, so is everybody looking at a ViaQuest screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so did everyone get the handouts that I sent out? Did you get those yesterday or this morning?
Yes.
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 Perfect. Okay, awesome. Okay, so let's get this party started, shall we? All right, so intervention number 1, ongoing assessment of needs. Let's begin. So just a little reinforcement, TBS is, excuse me, the Ohio Administrative Code governs what makes up therapeutic behavioral services. TBS, the portion of the code on this slide is actually related to the assessment of needs. This can also be found summarized on the 10 interventions list, which is on page 3 of the workbook. You guys remember that workbook we went through? Well, some of you may still have it from Smart Care Training. That's what we're kind of referring to. All right. Just to reinforce medical necessity of services provided, which is how we justify TBS interventions and activities. The overall needs are assessed. It's a starting point for client growth and self-exploration, and always make sure that we're linking their needs back to their mental health diagnosis. So why are we providing ongoing assessment of needs? Well, it's difficult to create a customized treatment plan, including client-centered skills to be worked on if an assessment of needs is not done first. So how do you know what to work on if you don't know what somebody needs, right? Okay. So why? It provides an opportunity to establish a therapeutic relationship with the client, to join with them, to get to know them, to build rapport with them. And it allows staff to quickly share their opinion. Sorry. Why do you guys think? Give me, if two of you would please, just give me an idea why you think it's important for ongoing assessment of needs.
That you want them to trust you and feel comfortable with you.
To build rapport.
Perfect. Thank you. Yep. And one thing, and I forgot to point this out when we started, like I'll ask for things like this, hey, give me a couple. But if nobody offers me anything, then I will call on people. So just FYI. Oh, bless your hearts. There we go. All right. So our needs should be assessed from the very beginning of treatment, right? From day one. So even though TBS specialists, even though you guys are not directly involved in the early intake process, you should absolutely review these documents so that you're looking for needs in the diagnostic assessment. I'm not sure. Can somebody mute? Like, I'm not, you guys.
I'm on it.
Thank you. Oh, appreciate it. That was like crap. So early in treatment, right? Make sure that you're reading the client's assessment and the evaluations, the most recent ones done. Be aware of their diagnosis, be aware of their needs, what their background is. And then we want to continuously check in with the client, guardian, and treatment team, making sure that the needs are still being addressed, that the treatment is focused on the needs that they want. The diagnostic assessment, the eval, the ISP, that can all be updated if needed, right? People change, we all change. So it would be natural for that to change as well. So what should be done early in treatment to assess or reassess needs? Now that the client has established a solid working relationship with you, the TBS specialist, they start to feel more comfortable, right? They're going to start sharing symptoms. They'll start sharing more concerns with you that they didn't share with the person who necessarily completed their diagnostic assessment or their psych eval, right? Because the first time you meet somebody, you're not going to open up completely and just tell them, everything. That opening up comes with time. It comes with that rapport that you're building with that person, that relationship that you're developing. Me and this mouse are having fits. So we're going to look at the assessment of needs once moving on into the initial stages of treatment. So we want to recall the process for treatment planning. Needs determine goals, goals determine objectives, objectives determine interventions. So it all comes back to needs. Now I did email the SNAP assessment to you this morning. I'd forgotten to attach it to the email. So that's a good way to determine it, right? So something helpful to understand clients and how their symptoms affect them daily is to ask them, tell me about a typical day for you. What do you do from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, and leave nothing out? What if they come back to you and they say, like, well, I don't have a typical day? Well, then ask them to walk you through, what did you do yesterday? So you had lunch. Did you eat in the dining room or in your room, or did you go outside, needed a picnic table? You can kind of help them narrow it down to find out. And then you can even elaborate from, where did you eat? So do you usually eat the meals in your room, or do you prefer in the dining room? Do you usually eat by yourself, or do you prefer eating with people? So you can elaborate on everything, right? We can expand that to get more details. Avoid focusing on your own opinions and comparing your life to the client's life. It may not be a need for them to have their room decorated, for example, even though you at home, like, your house is just so beautifully decorated. You've got all your knickknacks and your treasures and your pictures, and theirs is just bare bones. But maybe that's okay for them. So again, just trying not to put our own personal spin on things. All right, so the first handout that we're going to refer to is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, the hierarchy of needs is a theory from psychologist Abraham Maslow. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a charted set of human requirements that are important for an individual to achieve complete development and self-actualization. Maslow's model enables us to think more creatively and strategically about clients. It makes a client's development plans, practices, goals, and experiences. It makes clear a client's development plans, practices, goals, and experiences. It gives TBS specialists the knowledge needed to identify interests, skill sets, strengths, and values. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is also relevant to providing TBS because both are concerned with human motivation. All right, so let's keep moving. So there are 5 levels in Maslow's hierarchy. And we're going to break it down over the next few slides, each section. So basically, Maslow's model provides a basic framework or a new way to conceptualize a client in a holistic way, to consider how all aspects of their life affect another. It may also give ideas of what to address in treatment if they have unmet needs or an impact on mental health, as well as how mental health issues are impacting their needs. Understanding what people need and how client needs differ from person to person is a very important part of the therapeutic relationship. So we're going to start at the bottom. The physiological needs are the lowest level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. However, these are the most important needs to be addressed. They include the need for shelter, water, food, warmth, rest, health. A person's motivation at this level comes from our survival instinct, right? This is everything. It's what we all need to start. Next up from the physiological needs are safety and security. Now, once basic needs like food and shelter are met, Maslow noted that humans next look for safety and security in their lives at home, at school, at work, in their relationships, or in their community. It could be financial security, safety. Next up from physiological and safety and security, once basic needs like food and shelter are met, safety and security are in place. Humans are now free to work on their relationships with others. This stage involves forming and maintaining relationships, both platonic and romantic, and feeling accepted and valued within a group. Meeting these needs is crucial for overall well-being and can impact factors like physical health and mental stability. Examples of these needs include things like friendship, intimacy, trust, acceptance, receiving and giving affection, and love. Next up, from physiological, safety and security, love and belonging. Next, we have esteem. Maslow observed humans in this level have food to eat. They generally feel safe. They have people in their life to support them as they now work on themselves. They're building self-confidence, pursuing their education, working on career goals, personal and professional achievements. Esteem needs are met by both feeling proud of oneself and by receiving outside validation from others. These needs are typically met by friends, family, and romantic partners. Examples of esteem needs are awards and honors, choice of profession, promotion and increment, academic and non-academic achievements. Yeah, that's that, getting that little pat on the back once in a while. The highest level in Maslow's hierarchy of needs is self-actualization. A self-actualized person is the best version of themselves, right? They have accomplished the highest level of functioning possible for them. And indicators of self-actualization may vary from person to person based on culture, values, available opportunities, etc. For example, achieving self-actualization could include peak experiences such as learning to read, getting a driver's license, graduating from high school, getting married, becoming a parent, becoming a grandparent, earning an advanced degree, or many other things. The needs associated with self-actualization include the acceptance of facts, lack of prejudice, and the ability to solve problems. All right, so we're going to have a quick discussion and based on 2 questions. And please, there's no right or wrong here, right? This is just what we think. So how would you relate Maslow's hierarchy of needs to you or your client's life? And which level of hierarchy do you feel is most important? So let me look at our time here.
I feel
I'm going to get
acceptance.
2 answers to, oh, 1 second. Hon. Let me get 2 answers, 2 different responses to each question, please. All right, go ahead.
Okay, I feel acceptance would be something that I think everyone, ourselves, even our clients, are looking for acceptance, and everything else falls behind it. Because once you feel accepted, then you kind of let your walls down and start to be vulnerable and maybe develop healthier relationships, looking for relationships, and then that increase your socialization and
Good.
I
Nice,
think
thank you.
I think the most important is the sociological needs. Sorry,
That's okay.
because if we don't have our basic needs met, the chances of us doing anything else are slim to none. And so without that, I think if we don't start at that baseline and make sure those needs are met, we're not going to move on to those next steps.
Because those things are everything, right?
Yeah.
A warm place to lay your head, a safe,
I feel like
food.
safety would actually feed into that, because if you don't feel safe or you don't have somewhere safe to go, financially or anything like that, then psychologically, then you're just going to be in the pits. So everybody wants to feel safe.
Absolutely.
I work through a lot of self-esteem with my consumers, well, my clients, and I feel like when I praise them, that makes them want to do more. Like I say, oh, you went out today, good job, yes, let's work on. And it kind of boosts them up to want to do more just because of the praise. So I feel like self-esteem is a good one.
It is.
Yeah, I agree with Lynn. You know, some of them don't have family that come in and support them, or children and stuff. So they need that recognition that, hey, you can do this. I know you can do this, and you just got to have,
that means a lot to them. That really does.
It really does.
It does.
It
but just for you, just to
think about ourselves.
Just to walk in and say good morning. Just to see a happy face there.
So that's
and after being in a facility for some time, I think you feel like you lose some control or the ability to do.
I mean, they're very limited in what they do have control.
So I have one now. He's trying to move out. And
it kind of helps them change
the bank and all that.
Change their thinking too. It helps them change their thinking just from that, having that security and that safety.
Yes.
I think it's important too to make sure what they understand about these things and to make sure that they understand that these are needs that they should have met and not just, because I don't think sometimes they really understand a lot of what their needs are. So I think it's important that they understand every level and how that applies to them and what that means, and asking them, what does that mean to you, so that you understand where they are, so you can help them get to where they need to be.
Because it's going to be unique for each person, right?
Yeah,
what's important to me is not the same as what's important to you. And that's okay.
You have to build that rapport,
absolutely
to understand where they're coming from. It's really important to build that rapport with them.
Right.
Nice job. Thank you, everybody. Good discussion.
Is it okay if I chime in?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm never going to say no.
Okay, gotcha.
We're going to be here longer than an hour.
I didn't need to click the slides here. Sorry.
Got you.
No, go ahead. Chime in.
Okay. I just believe that you have to meet them where they are, because some people are already on different levels. So you just have to meet them where they are and be able to accommodate where those puzzle pieces are missing. So that's all.
That is a great point. Yeah. I'm glad you chimed that in. That's a very, very good point. Thank you. Great sharing, guys. Love it. Okay. Let's see. All right. So just again, it's going to be per client, right? It's going to depend on them. All right. So another handout that was sent to you are the 8 dimensions of wellness. It's actually a workbook. It's like a 22-page workbook. Hang on a second. I can show it to you real quick. Is that it?
I don't know if everybody else is the same at their facilities, but I just emailed mine to the social worker and she printed it out for me.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
I actually,
all right, but again, I won't make you go all back through it. Let me get back. Okay.
You said all this information was in the orientation packet that we received when you came.
Every week, yeah, every week I'm going to send you handouts.
No, I'm talking about everything that we going over. You said was in the orientation packet, right?
It should have been in the email that you got yesterday.
No, I got the email. I'm talking about initially you said this was in the orientation.
Oh, God. Yes. Hi. I'm catching up. Yeah. Do you remember that handbook, that workbook that was in your binders?
I still have it.
Yeah. That's where all of this stuff kind of comes from.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It gets to in there after a minute. Okay. So, so the workbook comes from SAMS, the agency within the Department of Health and Human Services that leads public health efforts. Okay, so just a little summary about it, of the 8 dimensions of wellness. Each dimension contributes to our own sense of wellness or quality of life, and each affects and overlaps with the others, right? Everything depends on everything else. At times, some dimensions may be more prominent than others, but neglecting of any one dimension for any length of time has adverse effects on overall wellness and mental health. But that makes sense because everything connects to everything. All right, so the emotional wellness dimension involves the ability to express feelings, adjust to emotional challenges, cope with life stressors, and enjoy life. It includes knowing what our strengths are, as well as what we want to get better at and living and working on our own, but letting others help us from time to time. A healthy body, good physical habits, nutrition, exercise, and appropriate health care. These make up the physical dimension of wellness. And a few ways that we can get there might be choosing things that make our body feel good, trimming back the things that bring us down. We can also feel better by creating a routine that balances activity with inactivity, that's manageable within our obligations and our needs. Our body is intelligent, and learning to listen to it more deeply may be very important and empowering. The occupational wellness dimension involves participating in activities that provide meaning and purpose and reflect personal values, interests, beliefs, and including employment. Oop. The intellectual wellness dimension involves many things that keep our brains active and our intellect expanding. In a broad sense, this dimension can involve looking at different perspectives of an issue, taking them into consideration. Through several activities, from learning about current events to organizing game nights in your home or community center, you can broaden your perspectives and understand diverse points of view. There are many definitions of what constitutes being financially well. But overall, the financial wellness dimension involves things such as income, debt, and savings, as well as a person's understanding of financial processes and resources. A person's satisfaction with their current financial situation and prospects also comes into play. The social wellness dimension involves having healthy relationships with friends, family, and the community, and having an interest and concern for the needs of others and humankind. The environmental wellness dimension. This involves being able to be safe and to feel safe. This can include accessing clean air, food, and water, preserving the areas where we live, work, and learn, occupying pleasant, stimulating environments that support our well-being, promoting learning, contemplation, and relaxation in natural places and spaces. The spiritual wellness dimension is a broad concept that represents one's personal beliefs and values and involves having meaning, purpose, and a sense of balance and peace. It includes recognizing our search for meaning and purpose in human existence, developing an appreciation for life and the natural forces that exist in the universe. Each dimension contributes to a sense of wellness and quality of life, and each affects and overlaps with the others. Now, at times, one dimension may be more important than the others, but neglect of any one dimension for any length of time has adverse effects on overall health. So, if a person has anxiety and depression, how might that impact their financial health? Me 2 responses on that, please. Just 2 of you.
It could affect how they spend their money or what they spend it on, or keeping track, being able to focus to keep track of it.
Okay. Yeah, focus to be able to keep track of it. Give me one more.
It's just their cognitive.
Yeah, it also can affect
hold
them like
on,
anxiety.
No, I got 3 of you talking at once. Who was Alexis? Were you?
Yes, I was just gonna say it can affect them going to work. If they have too much anxiety, maybe they have to take off. So that can affect it.
Absolutely. Perfect. Thank you.
In which environment we talking about? Inside a facility, inside a household?
Whatever is effective for your client.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. And everything we talk about.
They inside the facilities, they only allotted a certain amount of money anyway. So they already put on the budget.
Yep. Yeah, because that takes most of their money, right?
But you can still help them, like assist with budgeting that too as well.
Yeah, absolutely can. See, I
making healthy decisions and making healthier decisions. Some of them like junk food, so we try to make a little healthier choices for them.
Yeah, that would be me. I don't make healthy food choices ever. Okay, thank you guys. I appreciate it, and I really love the engagement in the back and forth because too, like your coworkers, your other people in the class, we share ideas, we share thoughts, we share things that have worked with us. So, giving each other that feedback I found to be very helpful. All right, so documenting our needs. So we're going to see how to document assessing it oh my goodness, I really can talk most days. We're going to see how to document assessment of needs during session and a progress note. All right, so ongoing assessment of needs documentation starts with choosing the intervention and the activities provided, right? So in every note, you have to choose one or more intervention that you provided. So for this particular one, we're just going with the ongoing assessment of needs. For each intervention, we have to indicate what activity or activities that we engaged in with the client, right? So we're rapport building in the beginning of treatment or at the time of transition and assessing symptoms, emotions, and overall self. And just being mindful, whatever we select, we have to add the details about those in the focus, right? Okay. So just always keeping that in the back of your mind. All right, so the client response to ongoing assessment of needs. Oh, I got you guys blocking myself here. Okay, so we're going to highlight these components. The client response box should reference the activity worked on to address mental health symptoms, right? So first, we're going to talk about how did the client engage or respond with us. She participated and engaged. We identified needs and we identified symptoms, right? That's what we did today. We want to make sure that we mention the actual mental health symptoms, working on what we're trying to decrease. We want to add quotes from the client, make sure that we're using our client's name. The client stated, Sally said, Sally stated, Sally engaged with, Sally agreed with, Sally utilized, and then how did the client feel about the intervention that we worked on? What was their response? All right, so the stuff that's highlighted on this slide in yellow, these are the kind of things that's important to have within every note. And again, this is kind of like the stuff that I just said that we want to make sure we highlight. We want to talk about our mental health symptoms using the client's name. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. All right, so, brushing her teeth, that's her activity. It's impacting her energy. She'll be more likely to leave her room, to socialize with others, and to feel less proof. So again, just finding those things. So is there anything missing that we can see? Is there anything that you think might be missing from here?
I know myself, when I first started writing notes, I kind of wrote notes like this and they would say, well, what did you do?
Well, but that's
mentioned.
no, but this is about, but no, that's okay though, because this is about the client. It's not about what you did. This is just about how the client responded to what you did.
Are we missing how she felt after session?
There you go. There's one. Or what activity did we do?
Yeah.
Right? There's
Or
like no
write in
activity.
there, you can write in there that you did validate her or praised her for brushing her teeth.
Thank you. So you see, but yeah, so keep this, yeah, just all about, we'll know what you did based on the client's response, right? So just, and I mean, not on this example, but like if you put in your note that you, Sally engaged with this writer to complete outcome measures. Well, that would tell us that you did outcome measures, because otherwise, where did Sally get them? Makes sense. So again, your managers or supervisors are going to know what you did again based off of what the client is responding to. All right, so there should always be a plan detailing who is going to do what to assist the client. Whoa, to assist the client working toward their goals. Got a little click happy. All right, so our homework and our plan. We want our clients working on something to help their mental health, on something in between sessions, right? Or maybe there's something that we need to coordinate or help with or work on for them. We don't know. So the first thing that we want to highlight, though, is an effective plan outlines what the client is going to do outside of session to continue to work on their goals and objectives. It's going to show how they're doing it, when they're doing it, what they're doing, what specific skills they're practicing. Like, it's going to be specific. All right, so this is an effective plan example because it outlines exactly what the client is going to do. Sally's going to find and purchase toothpaste that she likes, right? Sally is going to set an alarm on her phone to remind her to brush her teeth morning and night. Sally is going to brush her teeth at least once to decrease feelings of depression and encourage socialization. Because if we remember back to the note, right, when she felt better about herself, what did she do more of? Do you remember back from that?
So she socialized.
Came out and socialized.
There you go. Socialize more with others and made her feel. And right, that's natural. Okay. So that's how the homework is going to make things better, right? To improve. It shows how to continue practicing whatever was taught and done in session, that she's going to continue. Remember to always link client needs back to their mental health symptoms. Progress notes should outline why the client requires TBS. So what mental health symptom the TBS is supporting the client to decrease, manage, cope with, or overcome. Didn't mean to do that. Progress notes should document in what ways the client's diagnosis and related signs and symptoms can cause impairment in their various life domains, and then show what the specific barriers are, what's in their way. Refer back to the note example. So if the barrier was to Sally brushing her teeth, she didn't like the taste of the toothpaste. So that's in the plan. She's going to find some toothpaste she likes. So it's just, here's the problem. Here's what she's going to do to fix it. Or what we're going to do to fix it. So when we talk about discharge, so we're always working towards discharge, right? We're working ourselves out of a job. That's the goal. So TBS may still be assessing needs as a client nears discharge. As your client is nearing discharge, you'll want to reassess their needs again. This models for them how they may be advocating for themselves. This gives an idea about what services may be appropriate for them after discharge. You may be assessing needs during sessions with the client, guardian, or staff. So in addition to reviewing needs verbally or in session, this should also include the SNAP portion of the discharge summary, right? And I emailed you the SNAP assessment right before class today. So you've got a copy of that again, or another copy. Okay, so all right, where are we at? 10:48. Okay, good. So what I want you guys to think about is, how will you use Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Or the 8 dimensions of wellness learned today with a client in the upcoming week to assess their mental health needs. Like, what are you going to do? Oh, good.
I actually use them every day with every client.
Yeah. Nice.
Depending on their needs. I have ones that are focusing on getting out of their room because they don't feel safe when there's people in the building they don't know. So we work on some anxiety calming skills and trust and gaining trust and introducing them to that person if it's a worker, and so they feel safe to leave their room so they can enjoy activities.
Love it. Thank you. All right. Who have I not heard from today? I feel like I got a whole bunch. I'll get to know you. Don't worry, guys. You're like, great, yay.
With the homework assignments, I usually assign deep breathing techniques and work on their coping skills.
Nice. Nice. So are you going to
their coping skills with whatever mental health diagnosis that they have?
Good, thank you. All right, and just as a reminder, guys, when it comes for the homework, your homework, and the quiz, you are expected to utilize at least one of the activities that we talk about in class, and the progress note that you attach needs to be from 11 o'clock Fridays through the next week, right? So it has to be the week after the week of class. Does that make sense? Like it has to be a note done from today forward between now and next week. It always sounds so confusing when I say it out loud.
We're sharing one of our notes
progress note
from a session.
Yes.
Okay. That's
so we're going to share our own personal notes from a session
your
every week?
Progress note, one of your progress notes from that week.
Okay.
Yes. And it needs to be, and again, because you'll lose points if not, it needs to address the intervention of the week. This week is ongoing assessment of needs. And it will need to include one of the activities. So either the Maslow's hierarchy of needs or the 8 dimensions of wellness, like utilize one of those in that session. So that's why we kind of added this slide. We want you guys thinking ahead. Like, hey, this is somebody that I'll be able to, oh my gosh, this is somebody that would really benefit from this, or this is someone. So kind of be thinking that way again, because it comes to the points. Now, I will give you a little tip. The quiz, because we also send a PDF of the presentation of the class. The quiz questions come directly from the PowerPoints. Okay. So so just FYI, keep that in mind.
So do we have a quiz once a week?
You'll get it. It'll come to you after class today. I'll send it out.
There'll be instructions on how to share that note with you.
I'll tell you what time is it? Give me just a second here. Let me show you something real quick.
I didn't know if you went into each person's.
No, I do not. Nope, I sure don't.
Okay, I was like, that's going to be crazy.
No, I'm not.
Stacy, is that something where we can like snippet the note and send that?
Hang on just a second. Hang on a second. Let me show you real quick. Let me get rid of this. Okay, so. Oh, no, cancel that. Forget. I didn't mean it. Take it back. You get click happy and click the wrong thing. Okay, so. All right. This is what I'll show you what it looks like, okay? I don't even know if this is, this is your, okay, so this is your quiz. You'll get your quiz. Now, it's just the 5 questions. Now, down here, where you add, this is where you add your progress note.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, so in SmartCare, you'll need to download the note that you want to use, and then you'll just upload it here.
Thank you.
See where I'm at?
Yep.
Okay, anybody have any questions? And then once you take the quiz, we send you a PDF of it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you.
All right. Absolutely. Well, and because I mean, you guys are new to this, so I just want to kind of make sure everybody knew what it looked like. All right. And please, if you have questions, I cannot stress this enough. If you are not sure about something, if you have a question, please reach out. Like, don't beat yourself up. Don't overstress it. Don't overthink it. Just shoot me a Teams, an email. You can text, call, whatever. All right.
I do have one question. Are we using the intervention that you just did, or with any intervention that we choose to use?
We like you to use at least one of the ones from today or from this class.
Okay.
It's got to be, it don't have to be the only one, but it's got to be at least, and that holds true for each week. right? You'll need to, if it's not, you'll lose a half a point if that week's intervention is not selected, I think. And then but again, you've got the scoring. So yeah, it needs in every week. Like next week is, I think, skill building.
So this
next,
week is the ongoing assessment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, ongoing assessment. All right. Anybody else have any other questions? Anything I can help with? Not yet.
Yeah, I just have a question for myself. So I was thinking just simply asking the client, what do they feel they need to work on? Would that kind of be something within this, like far as needs or maybe emotional?
Yeah,
Really
asking
just
them,
asking questions, you know.
But don't be afraid to explore it. Don't just take it off the top. And I give you this perfect example, and it was for the person asked the individual, hey, what's your goals? Like, what do you I want to be? And it was, they were going to win the lottery, buy a new house, and move out of the long-term care facility.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Like make it
let's
achievable,
realistic, time specific. I mean, this person was in their 80s in long-term care with debilitating illnesses. You know what I mean? That was never
realistic.
So, you know, people that already have self-esteem issues, that's just going to kick them in the teeth a little more.
Yeah. And
right?
Because
it feels bad when you don't reach a goal. It feels awful for anybody.
I had one that said, I just want to be happy. But
that's perfect.
I had to get her to elaborate though.
Well, and that's okay though.
What makes you happy? Going to activities, taking a nap in the
afternoon. That's exactly what we're talking about right there.
And music.
Okay.
Flush it out a little bit.
You gotta put branches on your tree.
There you go. That's a very good. I'm gonna steal that. I like that. Branches on the tree is perfect. Thank you. See, and again, this is a nice thing also about TBSU is you guys can kind of help each other too, right? Like the engagement and the back and forth, you can give each other ideas and tips and things that have worked for you, or this did not work. Please don't ever do it. You know, whatever the case may be. So I love that.
I have a nonverbal. So he's nonverbal, high anxiety, self-injurious behaviors. And so he doesn't talk. You can't ask him any questions. But what I did when I used to fold towels, he would always come and sit next to me. So now I have him doing home chores, and he's
good.
When he does his home chores, you can see his facial expression and he'll vocalization. So, but he's got
something to focus on.
Yes.
Something, and he's feeling useful, right? Because isn't it important for any of us to just feel like we're contributing something? But I'll kind of differentiate you. I wouldn't say that you can absolutely ask him questions, but he's just going to communicate differently, right? But working with him, you read the body language and the facial expressions and the tones of the vocalizations. Like, you know, the difference between happy, sad, mad. I mean, we learn those things. I was in PD for 20 years. Like I know exactly what you mean. But yeah, you can still have those conversations. It just looks different. That's all. It just looks a little different. You know, everything we have in TBSU, we're kind of gearing it to be able to use in long-term care for IDD. You know what? It's good for everybody. That's our goal. All right. Okay. Anybody else have any more questions? No. I got chatty groups. I'm a happy girl. All right. Well, again, if you need anything, please do not hesitate to reach out. The quiz will be sent out after class today. If you have any questions, comments, anything, let me know. Okay. Thank you all so much. Great way
I
to
just want to
start.
say, I think my camera was on, and then I don't know. I got a message. I don't know how to reply back to it, but I thought my camera
it was
on.
off. But yeah, I
didn't know, so I want to make sure I got credit because I'm on my phone because my computer. I
got you're on there off and on, so.
Yeah, I said there were a couple that were, but I mean, to be fair, sometimes
I was like, hold on.
Yeah, no, and I saw where you were off, but then you were coming back.
Yeah, and then I was coming back on. Yeah, I didn't know because I'm on my phone.
You're good. You're good.
Thank you.
All right, have a great week, weekend.
Thank you.
It's Friday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.